Michael Brown would have turned 28. You might recall that 10 years ago, he charged a Ferguson, Missouri police officer. And the hands up, don't shoot fallacy, the lie took hold. Hands up, don't shoot! Yeah, he never said that, never did that. Had nothing to do with the case. But Representative Cori Bush is pushing a bill in his honor.
You won't make it through this.
Probably
I just thought we should play. This is a congresswoman introducing a new bill that's...
Okay.
Yeah, enjoy.
Michael Brown should have turned 28 years old. The last birthday he celebrated and will ever get to celebrate was his 18th. Just 81 days after his 18th birthday,
whose fault is that?
A Ferguson police officer killed him.
Just went out.
In a
For
just
no reason.
world,
yes.
Mike Brown would be with his loved ones right now, celebrating another year.
How do you know?
Dreaming of his future as he blows out the candles on his birthday cake. But instead, we are only left with the memories of who he was.
Right, which is
Michael
a
Brown's
saint,
life was
which was
taken.
a saint.
It was taken from his mom, his dad, his friends,
friends,
his siblings, his classmates, and from every person who
Probably
knew
shouldn't go after
and
a
loved
cop's
him.
gun.
Probably not.
They were all left to live
the kid was
through
a
the
saint,
trauma
Keith.
police violence leaves in its wake. They were forced to go to school, to go to work, go get groceries, and live their lives after knowing someone they loved was killed.
And
they were forced to deal with the mental health effects of it on their own.
Oh, man.
Police killings of unarmed black people are responsible for more than 50 million additional days of poor mental health days per year.
How are you getting?
I'm sorry, what?
It's devastating our
That's an
community,
interesting stat.
and it must be addressed. That's why, in Mike Brown's honor, alongside Mike's mother,
what are you
Leslie
doing?
McSpadden,
I
am reintroducing the Helping Families Heal Act.
Oh, good.
Also known
Helping
as the
Families
Mike Brown
Heal
Bill.
Act. I love it.
This legislation will provide crucial mental health support for victims, families, and communities harmed by police violence.
Good.
It would fund these resources and bolster counseling in our schools. It's been nearly 10 years since the Ferguson uprising. 10 years since our movement for justice birthed an affirmative vision of community safety that focuses on saving lives instead of destroying them. That's why, in addition to helping families heal, we're working to pass My People's Response Act, which would advance an evidence-based public health approach to safety and so many other life-saving policies.
So far,
almost a decade has passed since we lost Mike Brown, but we're still on the front lines of the movement to save Black lives. And that's where we will remain until no more lives are taken by police violence and our children can celebrate each and every one of their birthdays.
Oh, wow. Wow,
Happy
that's
birthday,
beautiful.
Mike Brown.
Happy birthday.
Rest in power.
Rest in power.
Rest in power.
Yeah. I like that.
I like that a lot. Rest in power. Huh. And why hasn't she introduced a bill to make him a saint? Why? Why haven't we applied for sainthood?
That's actually good.
Why don't we go to the Vatican?
Good point.
And tell that Pope, hey, if you want to be Catholic, you make this guy a saint. You're in danger of even being Catholic. This would put you right back on the right path.
Right, and this Pope would be the one to do it.
Yes, he would.
I don't know if he would get any, if there'd be any pushback on the half a dozen witnesses that said he did not put his hands up.
Right.
And that he did charge the police officer. But whatever.
But, exactly.
I did like the...
He was a saint.
What's the next thing there? The someone on social media pointed out, hey, Corey, I got more recent pictures of Michael Brown for you. And there they are. There he is, stealing from the shop owner there, the convenience store guy, and shoving
assaulting
him around.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's part of his sainthood right there.
And here, see, look, here's the video. In case you forgot, he had just robbed the convenience store and shoved around the convenience store owner on his way out. See this?
Then he was fighting the cop, and that's why he got shot. But apparently he was going for the cop's gun, and so the cop should have just let him do that and get shot in the head, I guess, by Michael Brown. Then Michael would still be alive today. The cop wouldn't be, but Michael Brown would be.
And then you wouldn't need the Helping Families Heal Act.
Yeah, right.
Named in his honor.
Right. Huh. Wow. I tell you, I don't know. It's agonizing with the people who are in office right now. how did this happen? That perpetuate lies and hoaxes. There was just an article that Daily Caller did because they just did this documentary. It's called, what is it called? Demand Hate? Something like that? Demand Hate. And so you're going to want to see this. It talks about some of these racial hoaxes. And it is amazing. One of the cases that was made into an article today involved a Black Lives Matter activist and a white woman who was stopped in the road because they were doing this demonstration. There was a bunch of people in the road blocking traffic, and there was a truck that was sitting in the way of all of the protesters so that people wouldn't slam into the protesters. This white woman got out of her car, went up to the truck, and said, "Hey, I'm glad you're here so that, these protesters aren't used as speed bumps." So then what happened? An activist named Ziana Bryant said that her point was the opposite. She said something to the effect of they'd make good effing speed bumps. That's not what she said.
Yeah, completely.
She said the exact opposite. And she put out a video and stated that that was what was said, but you never hear it on the video because she didn't say it. So she just gets torn to shreds. She gets berated. She gets doxxed.
Yeah, her life
is set fire to.
Yeah. In fact, she was attending classes there at University of Virginia, and they go through this brilliantly there in the Demand for Hate, the Daily Caller documentary, to the point where her classmates didn't want her even remotely dialing in.
Yeah,
to
not
class.
even online. They wouldn't sit next to her in class, and she couldn't be part of an online class. Jeez. UVA's administration finally said, "All right, we're gonna do an investigation." Well, they did, and they found that there was nobody that could corroborate the story. Why? Because it didn't happen. And so they turned the case over to some student panel, and the students decided, "Yeah, you're right. You didn't do anything wrong, but you're going to need to do 50 hours of community service, and we're going to put you in probationary expulsion. So if anybody ever complains about you again, you will be automatically expelled." And they gave her a bunch of other restrictions, even though they knew she didn't say what she was accused of.
They talk about equal justice, equal justice. The word justice belongs nowhere near the vernacular to these civil rights activists.
No,
it's
despicable.
It sure is.
Play the trailer of Demand for Hate. Check this out from Daily Caller.
A hate crime hoax is essentially a situation where a very high-profile hate incident turns out not to be real.
Probably the single most significant social movement in the United States was founded on the Trayvon Martin racism fabrication and the Michael Brown racism fabrication.
Right.
NBC News edited the 911 tapes to make it seem like George Zimmerman was motivated by racism. Real racism, it should be condemned. But the problem is, a lot of these cases, it's not real racism.
The Morgan Bettinger case was blown wildly out of proportion.
The one we were talking about.
I know what the she said.
And the next day she had over 1,000 death threats.
Universities and other institutions don't really punish the people responsible.
It's a complete assault on the truth.
Demand for Hate. Oof, man. So that's fun. So Morgan Bettinger had her life turned upside down and completely ruined. She did eventually graduate, but she had that on her permanent record that she was expelled. Yeah, the probationary.
Now she lives
expelling.
a life of a recluse.
Yeah.
It's so sad, this story.
Really sad. Really sad. Standing up to hate crime hoaxers like Ziana Bryant is about more than any one individual, as the article states. Morgan spent the prime years of her life defending herself against a college, a media, and society that sacrificed her in the name of justice. So they're telling these stories, and so this is definitely worth watching. Just really good stuff. Let me tell you about Blaze merchandise. If you love the show, you're going to love the merchandise that goes along with it. Go to shopblazemedia.com today, and you can check out everything from our "Brr, I'm cold, it's cold, brr" sweaters and T-shirts to our Pat Gray hats and beanies, the throwback Glenn and Pat T-shirt, and a lot more. And, of course, there's all the other Blaze Media merchandise right there at your fingertips. Everything from the Blaze Heritage and Blaze Media collections, jackets and T-shirts and hoodies, socks, mugs. There's just so much there. You're going to love it. Go to shopblazemedia.com today. Check out my merchandise as well as everything else available from the Blaze Media. Be sure you use my promo code PAT10 to get 10% off your whole order. That's shopblazemedia.com, promo code PAT10 to get 10% off today.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right, welcome again to the broadcast, to the program, to the show. So yesterday would have been Michael Brown's birthday, a sad, sad day for all the hands up, don't shoot folks who have been trying so hard to push that narrative and to grant him sainthood. You know, everybody who has been shot and killed in that way has become a saint. He has, Trayvon Martin did, George Floyd did. It's pretty astounding. And nobody wants these things to happen. Nobody wants them to be killed. I wish they were all alive today. But they're just not the situations that they've been made into. It's a lot like January 6th, actually. A riot that broke out. Some people got unruly. A very small percentage of the crowd got unruly. But they made an insurrection out of it. They made an attempt to overthrow the government out of it. So these things get turned into, the minor molehills get made into major mountains by the left.